Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About You. In today's video, I will be going over my tournament win, my second championship that I won for ARG Circuit Series. But before we start, I am going to show you guys this lovely mat. It has obviously the slogan All About You, which is my brand, and it is created by Swami. Very talented artist, and he has a bunch of work that you can find on Instagram and on Facebook. I want to give a major shout out to David Brown. David Brown is one of the owners of MetaMats. He hooked me up with a great mat. This is actually my logo for my channel, All About You. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to kick ass at this tournament with it. So thank you, David. Furthermore, let's get on to the actual championship win. So I won my second gold trophy, which is pretty awesome. You know, ARG really, they do hook it up. This is a really nice trophy, and they give them out to all the winners for each of their card games that perform well in their circuit series. You know, so this is the championship, and then this is the mat that I won. It's beautiful. It's actually way better than the first one. I was a little embarrassed to show you guys that one, but ARG really stepped it up. I believe Jim made sure that the mat this time was more presentable, and it has some of the two lead stars, Ultra Instinct Goku, and then we have Cleffa, which is really beautiful mat. So just want to talk a little bit about the event. There was 8 rounds. It ended up being a little over 180 players, which is pretty big, but it wasn't as big as the first one that I won, which was in Connecticut. That one had 315 plus players, which that one was a little bit more satisfying when I won that event. But this one was difficult nonetheless. I played against a lot of good players. Overall, it was a good experience, and I managed to get the second win. So I'm the only player right now in the game, not to toot my own horn, but I'm the only player in the game to win 2 major events. Whether PPG or Kitchen Table Meta, whether they were there or not, that's on them. KTM, there were some representatives from there, which were Eon and Eric, and let's be honest, the Hill Twins are the best players from KTM, putting aside Danny Hype. So that was already a good amount of competition, and unfortunately they were not on my team. So they got you guys 2 top slots. Eric Hill made top 8, and Eon made top 16. I actually bumped them out. So I want to show you the mat that we got off of Team Wars. We got the finalist mat. Unfortunately, we didn't take Team Wars. I came in first seed. I won the event, but we weren't able to take Team Wars this time around. We did last time. We won everything last time, but nonetheless, we got a pretty awesome mat that every teammate received. Additionally, for our entry, we received this mat, which is pretty awesome. It has obviously 2 infamous characters, your Goku and your Broly. So that's some of the perks that we got for being at the event. Overall, it was a great weekend. Again, I want to give out a shout out to David Brown. Thanks again for your mat, the All About You. Again, amazing. There'll be a lot of future events that I will be attending. I am going to be at Boston. I'm going to win my 3rd event. So I'll see you guys over there. Let's actually go on with the deck profile. I used Genyu. Alright? So I won the first event with Genyu, and this is the second one that I ended up winning with Genyu. So you guys already know what the leader does. During your main phase, you take a life, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand. And if it's a Genyu character, besides Genyu himself, you can put it in play. On the flip side, you know, you awaken, you draw 2 cards, you can take a life, add it to your hand. In that case, he gains double strike, and if you have multiple Genyu guys on the board, specifically 2 or greater, he also gains a plus 5k. But we use him as a double strike leader. Whenever you need it, you go for game. So we'll start off with that. Our first set of cards, we have Planet Vegeta, 4 copies. This card is freaking amazing. It is one of the best searchers in the game. And all it does is it allows you to search for a Saiyan 4 or less and add it to your hand. We don't use this. We don't use the last ability where you get your auto. The next card we play, 4 Cold Bloodlust. Another essential card. This is the only card in the game that can negate effects, and it is extremely powerful. When your opponent can't do what they need to do to progress their game state and you can stop it, it's pretty unfair when you're the only one stopping their effects while all your effects are rocking, which guess what? Only a leader like Captain Ginyu and Frieza Army cards can do. Moving forward, the most broken card in the game, snapped in half, overpowered. If you're playing yellow and you're not playing this card, you're bad. This card does everything you need. It allows you to put in play a Saiyan 3 or less from your hand when you super combo it, and it gets your deck started. That's the whole point of this deck, as you can see. Moving forward, we are going to go over the red package that I played. I played 4 Dauntless Kale. She is absolutely amazing. A lot of players were playing the Relentless Cabba, which he is not a terrible card, but for using a yellow leader, there's no point. She is a free card. So while you have Caulifla in play, you can just put her in play for free, period. She's a blocker. Now, if you play Cabba, the green one, you will be able to search for her because he can search for any Kale or Caulifla. When you grab her, you add her to her hand. If you have Caulifla on the board, you put her in play. So Cabba's effect essentially becomes a put in play effect, which you'll see later on when I go over him. We now run 4 Sister Attack Saiyan Kale. She is the bread and butter of this deck. She is additional draw power that you have while you control another Universe 6 character in play. When she attacks, she gains 5k and you draw a card. Point blank. Now, you don't want to be like Eric Hill and drop her and not have a Universe 6 character in play and be bad, swing out and have a vanilla 10k. But you guys will be able to see that in Team Wars, where he managed to take a win off me because I just drew garbage. Moving forward, not to throw too much shade, Eric. You cool. I ran 4 bold Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, which she is part of the heart of the deck as well. Her ability, when she's put into play, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck and you select a Universe 6 character with 1500 or less attack, and you put it right in play. So she is amazing. She can put in play Dauntless Kale, and she can put in play Sister Attack Saiyan Kale. That's her sister. The deck was designed to maximize as much value as I could with her, and she was terrific. Moving forward with our green package, we run Trunks Bridge to the Future ×4. He is, in my opinion, the second best filter card in the game, second to Planet Vegeta. And when you put him in play, you can look at the top 2 cards, select one of them. If it's a Saiyan, add it to your hand. The other one gets discarded. You have the option of looking at one. If it's a Saiyan, add it to your hand, so you don't have to discard anything. You use your discretion on how you want to play this card because he can maximize value and give you advantages. We run Saiyan Teamwork Cabba. If you don't see him in the game, I can let you guys know that this deck will more than likely fail on you. Unfortunately and fortunately, he is the heart of the deck. He is the deck. He is the card that you should always mulligan for. You should always try to have one in hand and start off. If you can't, it's fine. Hopefully you see it through Captain Genyu's effect, because as we all know, Ginyu allows you to pick through your life, so you have a better chance of seeing your cards. He is a consistent leader. This card is also very consistent with the deck. This is the card that searches for all your pieces and future pieces that I will show you. Moving forward, we run 4 Unstoppable Ambitious Super Saiyan Caulifla. She is an acceleration and awakening. When she's put into play, you take a life, add it to your hand. Additionally, any effects you have on the board that can KO, aka Kale, which we'll be going over right now. If you have her in play, you don't have to sacrifice any characters for the lovely Kale. And her ability is, when she comes into play, you have to discard one of your battle cards. In that case, your opponent, you can select battle cards on your opponent's board, 5 or less, and destroy them. And that includes tokens. So it's a field wipe for 5 or less, and you're the one who can choose. So she's very key. Them two being her being on the board first is very key to this card's success. So she's always a card you want to have in play. The last but not least green package card I run is for Terra Scythe Goku Black. This card is godlike. It is a card that when he's put into play, you can gain 2 tokens with 10k attack and 5k combo power. That allows you to put pressure on your opponent and relieve pressure. And in conjunction with Unwavering Shugesh, you can free play a lot of combo power. So when I'm going in for game, I can free play extra additional combo power, or when I'm trying to defend myself from my opponents, which I've done several times during Swiss rounds and in Top Cut, this helps this. So that's something you want to see. And of course, if you have this guy in play, which again, the heart of the deck, you can be able to Shugesh Kale, because Kale becomes a 3 cost instead of a 4 cost, which allows Shugesh to work with her. So as you can see, the deck is built for Shugesh, and that's why he's extremely important. Now, the last 6 cards of the deck, and honestly, this one card I'm about to show you is one of the reasons why I was able to beat certain opponents, especially non-mirror matches, is because of Explosive Spirit Son Goku. So he is not the most effective against the mirror, but can help. But what he does is he actually stops a lot of the strong cards in the format that are non-yellow related. For example, Vegeta, the leader, very aggressive, can crit your life, put pressure. However, most battle cards do not have barrier or any protective aspects to it. He says, hey, I use Shugesh, put him into play, kill a card. We all know that. That started during the set 3 format, and it's been amazing ever since that point in time. So extremely strong. He has barrier. He's a blocker additionally after killing something. He does a whole lot. We run 3 because 3 allows you to see it when you need it, but it's not oversaturated when you don't need it. Last but not least, we run 3 Trunks Power Overseeing Time. This guy is the bread and butter of the deck as well. He has the ability of getting Shugesh back into your hand. Now, when you play him or you play Planet Vegeta, the only card you should be searching for, unless you're in dire need of Kaba, teamwork, is searching out for Shugesh. And that card allows you to get Shugesh. Any other targets you have in play, if you don't select Shugesh, you're bad. Alright guys, so this was the deck that I used. It allowed me to win the tournament. I went 7-1 during Swiss rounds, landing me first seed in top 16. Then I dominated all through top 16 to win the event. So I'm going to give you guys my sideboard, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about how you should be playing the deck and what cards you need to see. So we have 2 Time Ruler Toa. This bad girl, she is a free card, with providing that you have 4 cards in your discard pile or more. When she comes into play, you can select one of your opponent's 2 or less drops, battle cards, and take control over it. Meaning that you can take your opponent's Kabas, your opponent's 2-drop Khalifas, and gain a huge advantage because this deck is a veggie deck. So in the mirror match, she's godlike. Moving forward, we run 4 Haru Attacker Majin. She is one of the best cards that Bandai ever created. It is a severe counter to yellow in general. Her ability, first of all, she's a 3-drop. She has critical. When she's put into play, if your opponent's leader is yellow, she can restand up to 4 of your energy. Up to 4, guys. She's a 3-drop. So if we do the math, she gets +1 in value. So not only she's free, but she also renews an additional energy. So it allows you to extend plays like, for example, you have 4 energy. You play Planet Vegeta. You search your deck for a card. Now you play her, restand all 4 energy. You have 4 energy, you play Trunks, Bridge to the Future, pay 1 green, search the top 2, etc. Play her, now you have 4 energy. The next card I ran, which was a very good sideboard, is King Vegeta Surprise Attack. This card was amazing against Apes. I ended up playing Apes during round 5 or 6, and it was a key card in landing me a W against that deck. I was going against an SS3 variant of Apes, and as we all know, if it's not yellow, it's not going to be able to counteract against you. So whatever you do, your opponent can't stop. You're the only player that can stop your opponent because that's what yellow does. Moving forward, I ran 3 Bad Ring Laser. This card actually did some damage against one of my opponents. My opponent was banking on Flying Nimbus in one of the games. He kept 1 yellow open, and I Bad Ringed him. And that severely hurted him. It was like GG after that. I had to discard a Shugesh, but it allowed me to go in when I needed to. And that's the whole point of that card. Last but not least, I ran 3 Flying Nimbus. This card was great against the Veggie matchup. You can say it was an MVP. Sadly, I sided 3 in a lot of my matches. Never saw it except for 1 game. So it's a great card when you have it, but 4 copies is probably the most optimal if you want to see it in that type of matchup. So this was the 15 card side that I used. And overall, the event was phenomenal. Again, a lot of good players showed up. I know PPG and KTM, they threw shade. Especially PPG, a lot of people were saying, oh, those guys weren't there, and it was like, oh, well, guess what? There was a lot of good players. There were former KTM members there, Jordan Markle, Zach, all the other good players, Nick Brady. Bunch of people showed up. There was a lot of talent at this event, and I still managed to win. And same thing with the last event. There was a lot of players there, and I still won. You guys got to learn how to play the deck, all right? So your opening hand should look something like this. This is what you want to see during your opening hands. You want to see a Shugesh, if possible, Bloodlust, Planet, Kaba, Trunks, and preferably an actual cost, whether it's another yellow card or another green card. And that is ideal. So the way that you want your hands to look like is something similar to where you have, if you want to go the yellow route, you want to have, let's say, another Bloodlust that you won't need. So you can just charge your Bloodlust, tap, play Planet, search for what you need, or swap this out, have an actual green card, so you can play this as energy and then play your Trunks. And then continue to filter through cards based on what your leader is able to acquire and based off of what you draw during your following turn. That's how you play the deck as a start off. Now, against certain matchups, it will change, but this is your ideal generic start off that you want. So you have protection, you have search, you have a card that does everything for your deck, and you have an early game filter. So you can start seeing cards that you need in the game. Again, thank you guys all for watching. And as always, this channel is all about you.